All righty. I guess you've noticed that we're not here. We're actually here.
We're in Vermont this weekend, and we're recording our Wednesday night class. So we're so glad that everybody's
Welcome to
joined
Tag
us.
Along.
Thank
Glad
you.
you're here.
Thank you, everybody. Here we go. Once again, we gather on this beautiful evening to come together in this online room to co-create this circle of unconditional love where everything that we like is included and everything that we do not like is included. It is all good. And we find the places where we're stuck. When we accept those things we do not like, we are able to see the obstacles to love's awareness and love's presence in our lives. So tonight, may we see those obstacles, may we be free from them, may we rejoice, and may we say the things we need to say and hear the things we need to hear and have a wonderful and lively discussion. Blessed be, and so it is.
Oh, beloved, you are mother and father. You are friend and companion. You are riches. You are wisdom. You are the eternal divine guide. Twameva mata, chapita twameva. Twameva bandush, chasaka twameva. Twameva vidya, dravinam twameva. Twameva sarvam, mama deva deva. I was sinking in despair, far from the shore, feeling sorry for myself, sinking to rise no more. But the mighty Mama Deva heard my cry. From the waters lifted me, now safe am I. Love lifted me, oh love lifted me. When nothing else could help, love lifted me. I give, ever to grace I'll sing. In this presence daily live, ever to faith I'll cling. Love so mighty and so true merits my soul's best songs. Faithful, loving service to all life belongs. Twameva mata, chapita twameva. Twameva bandush, chasaka twameva. Twameva vidya, dravinam twameva. Twameva sarvam, mama deva deva. Love lifted me, oh love lifted me. When nothing else could help, love lifted me. Love lifted me, oh love lifted me. When nothing else could help, love lifted me. Love lifted me, oh love lifted me. When nothing else could help, love lifted
This is a Course in Miracles,
Yes, it is.
and it is a required course. Only the time you take it is voluntary. Free will doesn't mean that you can establish the curriculum, or the connection. It means only that you can elect what you want to take at a given time. The course does not aim at teaching the meaning of love, or that is beyond what can be taught. It does aim, however, at removing the blocks to the awareness of love's presence, which is your natural inheritance. The opposite of love is fear, but what is all-encompassing can have no opposite. Therefore, this course can be summed up very simply in this way. Number one, nothing real can be threatened. Number two, nothing unreal exists. Number three, herein lies the peace of God. So what's your target?
Peace, God.
Right. What's everything paired to? The peace of God. What's reality? The peace of God. How do I get there? By recognizing what's real. It's always the dilemma. Oh no, we do this. We create whole organizations to go after and manage things, that are crazy. We create institutions to do crazy, unweird stuff together. People get together to do absolutely everything under the sun together. Think about what we unite under, what groups you're in, what like-minded affiliated groups that you're in. What are they about? What do you do? What's the purpose? How do you contribute? I guarantee that if you went to the mountain there, because you go to the mountain I use that metaphor because we go to the mountain every year, right? We go to the mountain every year, we find what is ours to do. We fine-tune that. We discover more and more and more and more how connected we are to all that is, and how we can work better with this holy instant to be effective members of the mind of God. Right? An effective member means we are contributing to the peace instead of being an obstacle to it. Okay? So if we come to that conclusion, what's going to happen is we're going to come down, we realize what we're doing over and over and over again is finding out how better to work with others, aren't we? If we're one, and I'm not alone and friendless, well, we'll see at the end of the thing, right? If I'm not alone and friendless, then there's people to work with. Then I'm home, or I'm among my friends, or compatriots, or compadres, or comrades, or whatever we want to call them. I call it the Secret Underground Miracle Worker Network. Because I trust my brothers who are one with me. So the dilemma becomes, after you know what you are to do, that you'll find yourself doing it with others. It'll be a part of a group organized to do that, probably. Grow vegetables, write a book, put on a play. You don't do any of those things by yourself, right? Whatever you're going to do, whatever your mission is in the world, you're going to need to partner with other people to get this accomplished. So we move into a we state of being. If we're wholeness and we move into a we state of being, we start to move into and have our identity in more group dynamics than we have them in this individual dukes up competition. I'm going to get mine attitude that we started with said, we're in the car going to the convention with Helen and Tom, Bob.
What?
Tom, we're going to the convention. She goes, I don't want to go. It's going to be so messed up. This is the story how the Course of Miracles gets.
Oh, okay.
In the car, and he goes, "This is I don't want to go to this convention because it's going to be people fighting over and over and over again. There has to be a better way." That's the origins of the Course of Miracles. You start this journey by saying there has to be a better way. There has to be a better way. We know there's a better way, and we find out that who we are and what we are to do. And then we find out we have to work with others to do it. That might be great for you. It might be terrifying, but it is the truth. You're going to have to shake hands and become a part of something. You're going to have to join something. So this is how she goes about saying, this is how you work well with others. This is how you create. We talk about group dynamics. We're talking about group coherency for a couple of weeks now. Group coherency, how to make and reproduce solid. So the picture is these children playing under this toy.
You can't share while we're recording.
Oh, okay. So I didn't know this toy existed, but so apparently there's this parachute toy where you can get around all sides of this plastic durable parachute fabric, like shaped like a parachute, and you get little handles on the outside, and you can go and make this. You people on the inside, and you can people. It's this fun thing that kids. I felt like a lot of fun, but it only works if everybody's kind of moving in this coordinated fashion, right? The game only works and is fun if everybody agrees to play, right? If one person doesn't do it, it messes the whole thing up. But you want to play, so You know, what is it when we're all working toward everything and having a good time and it's easy and in the flow and it doesn't feel like work, it feels like play? Instead of what is ours to do and working with others, what if it's playing with others? Can we think more about
that's
the
good.
idea of playing with others toward creating the love in the world and that we want to have, instead of the way the world couches it is mine to do, worky, worky, worky. What could be play with our friends? So let's see if we can look at it that
That's
way.
good. That puts everything in the realm of play.
Everything's in the realm of play, right? So this is chapter the Course in Miracles, chapter 21, reason and perception. See, reason and perception. What am I looking at, and do I know what it is we're moving into the world? Really looking at what is real and what is not real. Okay, chapter 4 is faith, belief, and vision, and we're going to talk about a method of creating good group cohesion. 13 paragraphs.
Okay, she starts off with a bang here. So remember our discussion of special relationships.
Okay, yes, first 2 paragraphs. Yeah.
So she starts off like this. All special relationships have sin as their goal. For they are bargains with reality toward which the seeming union is adjusted. Forget not this. To bargain is to set a limit, and any brother with whom you have a limited relationship, you hate.
I'll explain that later. Just keep going.
Yeah.
It's not as convoluted as it might first sound.
Yeah. And that is why the Holy Spirit must change its purpose to make it useful to him and harmless to you.
Your relationship.
Okay. So if you accept this change, you have accepted the idea of making room for truth. The source of sin is gone. Because, sin is an illusion.
Your
it's a
purpose of
mistake.
the relationship has changed.
Yeah.
So go ahead.
No one allows a purpose to be replaced while he desires it, for nothing is so cherished and protected as is a goal the mind accepts. The power of faith is never recognized if it is placed in sin, but it is always recognized if it is placed in love. Why is it strange to you that faith can move mountains? It is impossible to place equal faith in opposite directions. What faith you give to sin, you take away from holiness. And what you offer holiness has been removed from sin.
Okay. This, I know see, this is, think about your relationship goals. We were talking about this a little bit earlier. She's talking about relationship goals. Why are you in these relationships? Why are you in these groups? Why are you whatever? Why are you in these relationships? Relationship goals. Making room, and this is like making room for truth. Relationship, there you go. Making room for truth is kind of the way of thinking about this. And our goals are either going to be the way the Course in Miracles couches it is sin or love. Well, it's dramatically a way of saying, do you want illusion or do you want reality? Do you want to solve for a problem that doesn't exist? Do you really want to experience what is here? She makes a request. She goes to not limit your brother. Well, what can that mean? It means prejudices. It means limit people. I said girls can't do this and boys can't do this, or it's just limiting people, the way people talk, the way our unconscious ways in which we limit others.
Right.
And she says, please be honest about the goals of all of your relationships with your cat, your relationships with she just, please bring those things into your conscious awareness, because it'll be a wealth of joining or managing opportunities for you, letting go opportunities for you. She gives us a warning here. She says the tendency here in your relationships now is to manage for a social persona. Not to manage for a group, not to be working together to get something done, but to manage social personas. Who's on top and who's better in groups and out groups and things like that. Groups get sidetracked by that all the time. Churches do. And she says, you do that because you're more powerful than you know. You're wasting your energy by doing all of that. You are very, very, very powerful, and your attention gets things done. even when you're misusing it. So remember that what you pay attention to and what you manage actually grows and is fruitful and things like that, even if it's awful and destructive and suffering. The realization, what that wants us to see in our relationship and our attitude, the way we see groups and group dynamics and more than one of us getting together, is the realization that judgment is this source of separation. Judgment is this source of sin or breaking things. Judgment is the literal breaking of things. It's how judgment is how we practice, and it's how we must practice this wholeness, this togetherness. Now, remember from last week, I talked about this idea of practicing radical equality with this moment and the here and now. This moment is your home, like Yolanda says in her song. And we learned the holy encounter and the holy relationship, she said last week, are the exact same thing. Being here with now is being here with you always. The realization is the judgment when I go, not like that, is that we don't practice that radical equality and that radical authenticity that gets us actually where we want to go. And if you're smart, I'm sure you recognize where she says, why are you so surprised that faith can move mountains? Anybody catch the reference to 1 Corinthians 13:2? 1 Corinthians 13:2. 1 Corinthians 13 says, if I have the faith of prophecy and know all mysteries and all knowledge, and if I
have all
faith, if I have all faith so as to remove mountains, but do not have love, I am nothing. And that's part of Yolanda's.
That's my song.
It's a paraphrasing of what Yolanda did a song on. We actually get Course in Miracles quoting a Yolanda lyric. So
love divine.
That's the takeaway. She gets the first thing she says in these first three paragraphs is know why you're in these relationships, because your attention and your desire are so powerful that they're either going to contribute or destroy. So keep going.
Wow.
So next 3 paragraphs.
So let's just check.
How we doing?
How's everybody doing? Any questions
Good.
or comments or anything? Okay, cool.
Good.
All right.
Faith
and belief and vision are the means by which the goal of holiness is reached.
Okay, say that again. So that's the name of the chapter. So you want to pay attention.
Faith and belief and vision. I like adding vision to faith and belief. Faith and belief and vision are the means by which the goal of holiness is reached.
Means.
Yeah. Through them, go ahead.
No, keep going.
Okay, through them, the Holy Spirit leads you to the real world and away from all illusions where your faith was laid. For faith and vision and belief are meaningful only before the state of certainty is reached. In heaven, they are unknown, yet heaven is reached through them.
That's why they're a means.
Faith given to illusions does not lack power, for by it does the Son of God believe that he is powerless. For faith, perception, and belief you made as means for losing certainty and finding sin.
Mm-hmm.
The Holy Spirit has a use for all the means for sin by which you sought to find it. He would not take them from you, for he sees their value as a means for what he wills for you.
I know.
The Holy Spirit sees perception as a means to teach you that the vision of a holy relationship is all you want to see.
Okay. Faith, belief, and vision as the means to see the real world. We know that the goal we just talked about, the goal she wants you to have is holiness. Holiness is reality, right? Holiness is where you recognize things for what they are. The reality of our oneness of love and safety. Holiness. And our holy relationship is all that we want to see, right? I only want to see myself and where I'm connected and how I'm stuck in, in this to see, to do what it's mine to do. And you know this method. She says it differently than I do, but you know this method. The method is listen to the voice that likes you. That's faith. She'll tell you that we are one, and that's believe. And she'll tell you how to act like it. That's vision. You'll know what to do. She'll tell you that we are. Listen to the voice that likes you. You have to decide. You're going to. I'm going to say, okay, this course says that this is this way. I feel awful, and because of the way I think, I'm just going to try it the way the course says do it. Just because I don't have anything else to do. Faith. She'll tell you that we are one. You discover that we're one. That's belief. But you had to take action to get there. It has to take action. You have to go take the next step. The tarot card of the fools. Take the next step. She'll tell you how to act like it. That's vision. That's your authenticity. It's there to teach us. It's here to teach us the value in the means. Over and over and over again, this process works. Over and over and over again, it brings us back to this holy relationship. It reminds us again and again that there is no loss here. There is no loss here. We keep thinking, man, if I join this thing, I'll lose. The way I encounter the feeling tones that it was for me, and the way I always talk about it, is like say, oh no, I can't give my life to Holy Spirit. She's going to make me shave my head, and I'm only going to be able to wear orange, and I'm only going to be able to like speak, Sanskrit or something. That's what mine. That's what I did. It says I can't be holy if it doesn't look this certain way. That's a prejudice. That's paragraph 1. She goes, don't do this to yourself, right? You're going to be asked to do things and be a part of a group and to do this, and you're going to say, not like that. That doesn't fit my. I'm gonna lose my status in society if I join that group or whatever. I don't know. That's different for everybody because it's how you fit in. I can't see that for you. The way we do it is the reminder is what are you going to focus on? What are you going to spend your time doing? What problems are you solving for? Here we are back again, which I'm beginning to call the judgment squirrels of guilt, pain, and death, and the fear of joining. I'm going to manage for personality. I'm going to manage to make my body feel good all the time, and I'm going to manage to make sure that I never die, and I manage for, and that everybody likes me, and I don't ever, nobody ever really knows me. Man, what are we focused on? What is the relationships for? So here she goes, 7 and 8. Now as we get into method, she gives you the method. This is what begins to happen. Go.
Whom you try to limit to the body, you hate because you fear. Yeah, this when you think the body is the only thing, that's the realm of fear. But holiness would set your brother free, removing hatred by removing fear, not as a symptom, but at its source. Those who would free their brothers from their body can have no fear. They have renounced the means for sin by choosing to let all limitations be removed.
Is that where limitations again? Limitations from, I say, what are we doing? Prejudices and things. We have renounced the means for sin. Because I was using all that stuff, the means for sin, choosing to undo the prayer. Where I'm choosing the same energy, same power, same method. I'm not looking for things to be broken to fix. I'm looking to express the love of God. It's a completely different tone and connections, things and everything. So keep going.
First, they choose to recognize how much their faith had limited their understanding of the world. What is that connected to? Let's see. They renounce the means for sin by choosing to let all limitations be moved. But first, they choose to recognize how much their faith had limited their understanding of the world.
Being able to notice. Being able to notice. Right. The idea here is to free your brother. The request is to please don't police other bodies moving through space.
Right.
And that means all bodies. That means like buildings, books,
What do you mean by
people, all things.
Oh,
The condition of my happiness is a material quantity, is a material description. No. The request is please, when you're in a group, when you're managing for a problem, when you're contributing, when you're doing what is yours to do, it's very easy to slip into managing for personalities. It's also easy to slip into managing physical objects, which is also not what the group in the joining is ever going to be about. Look upon your brothers in holiness. If you want to know what's going on, you need to be present to be able to see it. Look upon your brothers in holiness. She tells you where you can see holiness in the present moment. And that's where you want to make decisions from. You don't want to make decisions from places of anger, or places of unknowing, or places from fear, or wherever it is. You want to look on your brothers with holiness. Learn to be present. That has to be like a foundational culture of oneness, because it creates the feeling tone of aliveness, alive awareness, and oneness, in which what you want to do actually begins to happen. It's the remover of obstacles, because we can see the prejudices and judgments and we don't fall for them. We become to understand ourselves as members of the secret underground miracle worker network. We do what ours to do, and we see it coordinated with all things that others do, and we see how what ours to do coordinates with things that everybody's. Is wild. And the result is those fear squirrels kind of become less annoying. We just see them for what they are. Temptations to get off the track, and we're just not really tempted, right? Because we have been given finally vision. She'll tell you how to act like it. I know what to do. What a great feeling that is. Isn't that a great feeling when you know all your lines and you're ready to go? Everything's great. You know the song, the thing, the speech, and everything you do, and you smash it. And you're like, oh, that's how it's done. Isn't that a great feeling? That is a great feeling. Would you like to have to be walking through your whole life as I'm me and nobody else, and you can't talk me out of being me? Or however you walk, I walk like this. Apparently, I don't know. See what I mean? It's like. At what place are you going to finally get convinced that we need you to be you, because that gives people the permission to be them, because then we can see what we need to see and make the best decision for everybody.
Right.
It doesn't work any other way. I can show up all I want, but I'm only going to make the best decision consciously that this consciousness is going to be able to make. And if you contribute to the consciousness and we're all in this holiness place together, do you know what decisions get made? The great ones. Do you know how fast they're made? Just like that, because it's friggin' obvious. And the meetings go really fast. They don't go forever. They go really fast. Because people go up and they go, oh, this happened. They go, oh, what happened? You did this. He goes, yeah, exactly. All right, perfect. Because everybody's on the same page. You don't have to keep like going, oh my God, this girl, you know? That's what people do to me, because people do to me because it's like, God, he's so nice. What does he want? You know? Anyway.
Oh,
Free your brother. Make the request. Just don't police the bodies through space. Look upon your brothers with holiness. Take your place as the secret miracle worker network. The result is the fear goes away and we know what to do. Keep going.
To believe in sin must think the Holy Spirit asks for sacrifice, for this is how they think their purpose is accomplished. Brother, the Holy... Brother!
I know. I know,
brothers and sisters.
I know. They say she's
The
a secret
Holy
Catholic.
Spirit knows that sacrifice brings nothing. He makes no bargains. And if you seek to limit him, you will hate him because you are afraid. The gift that he has given you is more than anything that stands this side of heaven. The instant for its recognition is at hand.
That's where we fit in others.
Yeah.
We understood the power in that. Keep going.
Your faith in sacrifice has given it great power in your sight, except you do not realize and cannot see because of it. Your faith in sacrifice, oh my God, has given it great power in your sight, except you do not realize you cannot see because of it. For sacrifice must be exacted of a body and by another body, and on, I assume. And so is sacrifice invariably a means for limitation and thus for hate.
There's not. That's pretty clear. She's saying, don't you see? So the third thing is you're in a group. So you can manage for personalities. You can manage for objects. It'll look like you manage for objects like a property manager, but you're not. Or you can try to stop something from happening. That's another reason why we ruin groups, why we ruin our relationships, is we make our bounding and our whole relationship is about stopping something from happening.
Yeah.
Stopping loss. Don't join groups that are to stop something from happening. It's the kind of, not that isn't, it's kind of a, I feel like I'm going to be reinterpreted on that, misinterpreted and reinterpreted. But it's like the attitude of like stopping something is differently than the attitude of wanting something else to happen. And that's the attitude she's trying to get us to put your energy toward. Your energy is better used with creating something than you want than stopping something that you do not want.
Exactly. That was the point. Creating what you want rather than stopping something.
Because we are wired to create happiness. We are not wired to enforce limitation.
There you go.
Sacrifice invariably means limitation and thus hate. Right? I don't like this happening. This shouldn't be happening. Right? That's like that's the push, the limit, the contain. That's using our power to limit out of a sense of goodness that this should be stopped. But I could give you a couple of examples of abortion's a good example. To stop abortion things. Even if it means assassinating all the doctors who do them. So what we're against is a poison. And it poisons groups to be vehemently against something.
Yeah.
Good reminder.
Yeah.
So then she wraps this up in this way.
Think you the Holy Spirit is concerned with this?
Right. She gives you these three examples of how we mess things up.
Mm-hmm.
Go.
He gives not what it is. What?
Think this.
Think you the Holy Spirit is concerned with this? He gives not what it is, his purpose to lead you from. That's a weird sentence. We'll talk about that. You think he would deprive you for your good, but good and deprivation are opposites and cannot meaningfully join in any way.
Right.
The body was made to be a sacrifice to sin, and in the darkness so it still is seen. Yet, in the light of vision, it is looked upon quite differently. You can have faith in it to serve the Holy Spirit's goal and give it power to serve as means to help the blind to see. But in their seeing, they look past it, as do you. The faith and the belief you gave it belongs beyond. You gave perception and belief and faith from mind to body. Let them now be given back to what produced them. and can use them still to save itself from what it made. Interesting.
Sacrifice and loss. The fear is joining makes me less of a person, right? Oh man, I'm just, I'm a member of the team. I want to be the star of the team, or I want to be the thing, or be the team after me. I don't know. The best player was we can't. It's like if I'm not on top, or if I'm not the big,
kahuna.
Joining makes me less of a person. Opposite's true. It makes us more effective to be a part of something. Losing body identification. The fear is losing our own body. Another fear is of our losing our own body identification. And that fear is that I'm never going to feel good again. I can't do this joining. I can't give my life to God. I can't give my body to God. I can't do this whole spirit thing. I'll never feel good again. I mean, God's holy in everything, right? I can't give God my body. Well, the opposite's true. Yeah, I'm here to tell you the opposite's true. The body isn't the problem. She said very, 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 of course, it's very, very, very clearly here. Have faith in your vehicle and your learning device.
Yeah.
Your vehicle and your learning device. You have the perfect, you have the most oddly specific one. Specially designed for you. Custom. I mean, all that stuff. For what is yours to do. Please have faith in that. And learn to see that for what it is. Learn to see our bodies for the reality for what they are, she says. Because it's all set up to be perfectly what you need to do for what is yours to do. And because the thing that once we begin to realize this, she goes, if you do this, you'll begin to save yourself from all the stuff that you put in your way that's coming your way now. That before you knew this, you set a whole bunch of stuff in motion.
Right.
If you see this quickly enough and you get into this moment and you're with others that are in this moment, you can see the shit you started a long time ago, and the stuff that come in your way, and you go with your friends. Your friends will help you step aside of it. Step past it. Your friends will help you know how to do that. And you'll know how to help your friends do that for them, right? Because your friends are waking up too, because you're walking in the same direction. I'm holding up my lantern for you. You're holding up your lantern for me, right? We're all walking home together, right?
That's what's happening.
The togetherness, the wholeness, it isn't me trying to find the wholeness and be good enough to be, for the wholeness to look back on little old me trying to catch up. That's not happening. It's really hard to break out of the transactional mind. It is really, really, really very, very, very hard to get out of the I will be good. I need to make myself good enough to be chosen, picked, or whatever. It is very, very, very difficult. So don't do that. So this is what I wrote. And we're done. Groups tend to lose their goals when they begin focusing on managing things rather than using relationships as a means to consciously create in and experience what is real. It comes from a judgmental attitude. When we're policing other bodies through space, we're using our power in unconsciously hurtful ways. It causes us not to be able to see what is right before our eyes to do. It blocks the path to happiness, which is this safe and secure feeling of home and togetherness. It pushes people away and isolates us as well. We need all of us. Have faith. Practice acting from the reality of this togetherness. The sacrifice of loss and fear that has been promised never materializes. Judgment hijacks our power by chasing after the squirrels of guilt and pain and death. There is no sacrifice and loss in joining. We can enjoy all the things we love with those we love, turns out. Our conscious goal is to be this holy instant, in this holy relationship, to do what is mine to do in concert with all beings. My name is Reverend Glen Ganaway. I'm your favorite anarchist preacher, and I'm here with the love of my life, the Reverend Yolanda, and I love this lesson. Listen to the voice that likes you. She'll tell you that we are one, and she'll tell you how to act like it.
You are preoccupied.